So what we have done, we have started with the roots, how to find it out the roots. And the second thing is, if the roots, depending on the roots, if it is real, distinct, real, repeated, complex, and comprehensive, we have calculated or we have found it out the solution, and that solution was written. So the question was, is be mute, is not muted. Who is not muted? Please mute. Okay. So what we have done is we have taken the another one, that is case number 2, and I have asked to find it out the solution for this. So you can see here that when we take the roots like d minus m1 into d minus m1 operating on y is equal to 0. When we take this d minus m1 into d minus m1 operating on y is equal to 0, what we do is we consider this entire term as some function. Okay, so we can write it down this as d minus m1 operating on some v is equal to 0. Where what is v? We'll consider this v as d minus m1 operating on y, right? D minus m1 operating on y. So what we'll get this as? So this can be written as, if I solve this, this is nothing but dv by dx minus m1v is equal to 0, which will give me the roots as v is equal to what will get? The way we have seen it earlier. In place of y, what I have is, I have that is, here it is v, correct? Instead of dy by dx, I have here it is dv by dx. So you can see that v is equal to c1 times e raised to m1x, correct? We are getting v is equal to c1 times e raised to m1x. This is our root. But what is v? V is nothing but this. So we'll substitute in place of v this value. So therefore it will give me this as d minus m1 operating on y is equal to c1 times e raised to m1x. E raised to m1x. Now what is this? This is nothing but your dy by dx, correct? Minus, I have this is m1y is equal to c1 times e raised to m1x. c1 times e raised to m1x. Now if you just see this, if you just observe this particular thing, it is nothing but dy by dx plus py is equal to q. It is your linear differential equation, dy by dx plus py is equal to q. So this is our differential equation in the form, it is your LDE, linear differential equation of first order, first degree, which you have learned earlier. So where what is p? So here p is equal to minus m1, here p is equal to minus m1, and what is q? Q is on the right hand side, this function c1 e raised to m1x. On the right hand side we have the function that is c1 e raised to m1x. Okay, c1 e raised to m1x. So we'll solve this. How to solve this? We know that whenever we have a differential equation of the type dy by dx plus py equal to q, the integrating factor is what? E raised to integral of p dx. Correct? And the solution we write it as y times integrating factor is equal to inside the integration q times integrating factor dx plus c. Correct? Plus c. So what we'll do is we'll try to solve it in that way. So this can be written as So you can see here that Q is equal to, we have C1 e raised to m1x and P is equal to minus m1. Therefore, the integrating factor, you have seen that integrating factor is e raised to integral of P dx. That is e raised to integral of minus m1 dx, which is e raised to minus m1x. You can see here it is e raised to minus m1 dx. You can take out that minus m1 outside. Integral of x is x. Dx is x. Correct? So we'll get this. So therefore the solution is, what is the solution? We write the solution for this linear differential equation as y times integrating factor is equal to integral of q into integrating factor dx plus c. Correct? So what will get this as? Y times, we have integrating factor as e raised to minus m1x, that is equal to integral of q. What is q? Q is this. So c1 e raised to m1x into integrating factor. Integrating factor is e raised to minus m1x dx plus c. So what I get this as, this is y times, see you can see that this power is plus, this is minus, so it becomes 0. So it is e raised to 0, that is 1. So I am having c1 times integral dx. So we have y times e raised to minus m1x is equal to integral of c1 dx plus c. Now what is integral of c1? It is nothing but x, c1x. So we get this as y times e raised to minus m1x is equal to c1x plus c. Correct? So what is y from this? Y from this. So we'll get the value of y. We'll get y as this term times, you just take it on the other side, so it becomes in the denominator. E raised to minus m1x goes to denominator. When I take it in the numerator, you will get plus m1x. So we get this as c1x plus c times e raised to m1x. And that is the only thing which we require it when the root is repeated twice. What I get, here I am writing it as c, but you can write it as c2 also. Correct, you can write it as c2 also. So this is c1x plus c2 or c1 plus c2x. Doesn't matter. You can write anything. You can write anything here. Still you'll get the same answer. Correct? So we have proved that if the multiplicity is 2, we are getting a linear polynomial of degree 1 in terms of x times which root is repeated? M1 is repeated. So since M1 is repeated, it is multiplied by e raised to M1x. Multiplied by e raised to M1x. So what you do is you just, I think you have written all the formulas. Or if not written, I just write it down so that you'll get the idea. And we'll solve the problems based on that. Okay. So first one is, write it down, the case 1, real and distinct. Real and distinct. If the roots are real and distinct, suppose the roots are m1, m2, mn, they are real and distinct, then the solution y, okay, solution y is equal to c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 times e raised to m2x plus and so on cn times e raised to mnx. Please write it down this so that we can solve the examples and we'll understand more. Now the second case is, if the roots are going to be real and repeated. Correct? Real and repeated. So suppose m1 is repeated thrice. Okay. repeated thrice. So say I just write it down this as m1, m1, m1. Okay. So I'm taking the places of this m1, m1, m1. Then I take the next number as m4, comma, m4, m5, and so on, mn. How you write the solution? So the solution is, since it is repeated thrice, we'll get a polynomial of degree 2 in terms of x. So how you write the polynomial? First constant, then c2 times x, then c3 times x square. Which root is repeated? m1. So it is e raised to m1x. Now next index, since they are all distinct, so we are going to follow case number 1 for that. So this can be written as next index is C4. So this is C4 e raised to m4x plus C5 e raised to m5x plus dot 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 Cn e raised to mnx. Okay, dot 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 Cn e raised to mnx. Please write it down this, or you can take a screenshot also so that you can refer while solving the problems. So the first case is for real and distinct. The second case is for real and repeated root. Real and repeated root. So later on I'll upload this lectures also, recorded lectures, so that you can go through anytime. Now this is your case number 1 and 2. Now we'll go for the case number 3. Case number 3 is for the complex numbers, as we have seen earlier. So it's for the complex numbers. So case 3, that is complex, roots are complex and distinct. Roots are complex and distinct. So the roots can be written as alpha plus or minus I beta. As we know that if the complex root is there, its complex conjugate is also a root for that particular equation. Now the solution is y is equal to e raised to alpha x into c1 times cos beta x plus c2 times sin beta x. Now how it has come? It has come again from the same thing. Okay. Here I am just writing. So what are the roots? It is alpha plus I beta. Another root is alpha minus I beta. Correct? How we write the solution? In real case, we write it as c1 times e raised to m1x. Correct? Plus c2 times e raised to m2x. Okay, m2x. Now how you write this? It is e raised to alpha x plus e raised to I beta x. Yes. So I have here, it is c1 times e raised to alpha x into e raised to I beta x. Similarly, I have here c2 times e raised to alpha x into e raised to minus I beta x. Correct? Now what we'll do is here I can take out common c e raised to alpha x. So I have taken it out here. Correct? Now what is remaining? C1 times e raised to I beta x plus C2 times e raised to minus I beta x. That is remaining. So how you write it down that? So this can be written as, so I just take out now e raised to alpha x outside. What is remaining? C1 times e raised to I beta x plus C2 times e raised to minus I beta x. Now you have seen the Euler's formula earlier, e raised to I theta. How you write e raised to I theta? It is cos theta plus I sin theta. So we'll use that formula here. So this can be written as e raised to alpha x. Inside the bracket I have c1 times, we have cos of beta x plus I times sin beta x. Correct? This is first term. Plus C2 times what I have is, in place of plus now there is only minus n, rest all of them is same. So we have cos beta x minus I times sin beta x. Correct? This is the another one. So we'll complete this bracket. Complete this bracket. Now you can see that we can take out here what term. If I want to simplify this further, obviously we'll talk about cos beta x coefficients and sin beta x coefficients. So you just take out the cos beta x coefficients. So this can be written as, correct? And I have sin beta x coefficients. Okay. So what is coefficient of cos? C1 plus C2. So we have here C1 plus C2. What about the coefficient of sin beta x? It is C1i minus C2i. So I just take out that I and here C1 minus C2. But what is I? I is again a number. Correct. So I times C1 minus C2 is also a number. So what we do is we just club this together and we can write it down. See, it's again a constant. This is also I times whatever you will get, it's also a constant. So we can write it down this as C1 times cos beta x, or you just say that it is C3, okay, for understanding here, C3 times cos beta x plus C4 times sin beta x. So this is your derivation. You are using again the case number 1 only for getting the answer. But here what we have to do is we have to use one more formula, that is Euler's formula, to get the answer. Correct? So C1 plus C2 I just consider as C3, and I times C1 minus C2 can be considered as C4. C4. And that will give you the answer. Correct? It's again a constant because see, we are considering here linear differential equation in real as well as in complex. See, we are considering a bigger field. Real set is always a subset of complex. Yes, do you understand this? Because when the component I component is 0, you get a real number. And when you keep on adding the component of I, that is imaginary term, you get that complex number. So the bigger set is a complex field. We say that it is a field because it satisfies certain algebraic operations. So it's a bigger field, and bigger set and the smaller set is going to be the real set. So we are now in a bigger set, correct? So here this is again a constant. I times C1 minus C2 is a constant. So we get this as the answer. So this is your solution that we have claimed for case number 3. Case number 3. If alpha plus or minus I beta complex roots are there and they are distinct, then we write the solution like this. Okay. So there we have taken in place of C3 and C4, C1 and C2. Okay. Now the last case in this is case number 4. If the roots are complex and repeated. Okay. Complex and repeated. So suppose your roots are alpha plus or minus I beta. It is repeated twice. Repeated twice. So what we are going to do is, since it is repeated twice, we are going to write the solution as e raised to alpha x will be outside. In place of C1, we are going to take C1 plus C2x. Correct? That is a polynomial of degree 1. times cos beta x plus in place of C2, now we'll have the another index. The next index is will start with C3. So we'll have here C3 plus C4x sine beta x. Okay, sine beta x. So this way you can write it down the solution. Write it down the solution. I think everyone has taken down the solutions, because we'll solve the examples based on this, and that will build your understanding of this type of problems. Okay. Now we'll go ahead. I think you have taken it down. So we solve the first question. First question here. That is d2y by dx square plus 4 times x is equal to 0. Solve this differential equation. Very simple differential equation. We'll start with simpler and then we'll go ahead. So it is d2y by dx square plus 4x is equal to 0. So what we have to do is the first task is always symbolized. Okay. So let capital D is equal to d by dx. So the auxiliary equation. So I have told you that for auxiliary equation, we can write A dot E. Auxiliary equation in this case is, this is nothing but d square, because order is 2 plus 4, okay, operating on, this is 4y, sorry, operating on y is equal to 0, correct? So what are the factors? So consider this d square plus 4 equal to 0. What are the factors? It is d plus 2y into d minus 2y. Correct. So therefore the roots are plus minus 2y. So they are complex and it is distinct, correct? Complex and distinct. So what I have to do is I have to write it down the solution by using case number 3. Use case number 3. So by using case 3, so this is for your understanding. You don't have to write this case 3 in examination. Okay. So what is your y solution? E raised to alpha x. So what is alpha here? Here alpha is 0. What is our beta? Beta is 2. Beta is 2. So substitute that value in the solution. What is the solution? E raised to alpha x. So 0 times x into C1 times cos beta x. That is C1 times cos 2x plus C2 times sin 2x. Correct? So this is your final answer. One can keep here 0, or you can directly write it down only C1 cos 2x plus C2 times sin 2x. This will be your answer. This will be your answer. Okay. Now we'll go for the next question. So the next is solve this differential equation d3y by dx cube plus 2 times d2y by dx square plus dy by dx is equal to 0. d3y by dx cube plus 2 times dy by d2y by dx square plus dy by dx is equal to 0. What we do is we first of all write it down in the D symbol. So we can write, see here, these are all homogeneous differential equations. If you just observe it, they are all homogeneous differential equations. So you don't have to worry, correct? So it is what? This is dq. This is 2 times. Here you get d square, correct? Here it is d operating on y equal to 0. So we have to solve this further. So I just take this dq plus 2d square plus dt is equal to 0. See what we can do is we can take out here d common. Yes. So take out d common. What is remaining inside? D square plus 2d plus 1. Correct? Now what is d square plus 2d plus 1? It is the square of d plus 1. So I can write it down this as d times d plus 1 bracket square equal to 0. So this will imply that the root is what? D equal to 0. And I have d plus 1 bracket square equal to 0. That means minus 1 minus 1. So the roots are what? Roots are 0, minus 1, minus 1. Correct? 0, minus 1, minus 1. These are the roots. Now once you get this as a roots, now you can just observe the roots. So they are all real. But are they distinct? No. Here first and the second one is distinct. But the second is repeated twice. So we have to take a combination of case 1 as well as case number 2. Yes. So therefore, what is the solution? So the solution is y is equal to C1 times. What we have to do? Where if the distinct roots are there, C1 times e raised to that root times x. So it is e raised to 0 times x plus. Now which root is repeated? Minus 1 is repeated twice. Minus 1 is repeated twice. So what we have to do is we have to write it down a polynomial of degree 2 minus 1. Yes, multiplicity is 2. So 2 minus 1, that is polynomial, linear polynomial, it will be degree 1. So we'll take the next index here. After C1, the next index is C2. So C2 plus C3x, which root is repeated? Minus 1 times x. So this is your solution. This is your solution. You can definitely write it down this as y is equal to C1 because e to the power 0x is 1 plus this is going to be C2 plus C3x e raised to minus x. This is your final answer. This is your final answer. Okay. I'm assuming that everyone is with me. Now we have taken degree order 3 differential equation. Now we'll go ahead, we take some little bit complicated example. So next question is, you have this b raised to 6 minus 6 times d to the power 5 plus 12 times d to the power 4 minus 6d cube minus 9d square plus 12d minus 4 operating on y equal to 0. Please write it down correctly. D raised to 6 minus 6 times d to the power 5 plus 12 times d to the power 4 minus 6 times d cube minus 9 times d square plus 12d minus 4 operating on y equal to 0. Now this polynomial is of degree 6. Let us see. The original differential equation is differential equation of order 6. So it will have 6 roots, correct? 6 roots. And in the general solution, you will get the index C1, C2 up to C6, correct? C1 to C6. Now how to find it out the solution for such type of problems? So here we are using what? Synthetic division method. Synthetic division. Synthetic division method. So what we do, we are going to take the coefficients from the highest degree term to constant. Okay. So what is the coefficient of d raised to 6? It is 1. Coefficient of d to the power 5, that is minus 6. Okay. It's minus 6. Then after that d raised to 4 is there. Yes. So it is 12. Next is d cube is there. Yes, the coefficient of d cube is minus 6. Next is d square is there. Yes, again minus 9. D is there. Yes, it is 12. And last it is what? Minus 4. Minus 4. So we are writing all of them. Okay. Now we are trying to find it out the integer solution for this. At least one real root will be there for this polynomial. So here all the problems are not for the real numbers, they are for the integers as I told you. So at least one integer solution will be there. So you have to start with 1, whether 1 is a root that I have to check, or minus 1 as a root. Then you go for 2, minus 2, 3, minus 3, 4, minus 4. Keep on doing like this. So what we'll do is we just check first of all whether 1 is a root or not. So this term you have to take it down as it is. Okay, this whatever it is coefficient, that coefficient you have to take down as it is. Now you have to multiply this two. 1 into 1. What is the answer? 1. Those who have forgot this, so I'm just doing it again. So 1 into 1 is 1. Add this 2. What is the addition? Minus 5. Minus 5 into 1. That is minus 5. So 12 minus 5. So here it is add this. That is 7. Again 7 into 1. 7 into 1 is 7. What we are getting? Minus 6 plus 7. Answer is 1. Again this 1 into 1. So here 1. That is addition of this 2 is minus 8. Minus 8 into 1 is what? Minus 8 here. So minus 8 plus 12 is plus 4. Now 4 into 1 is 4. See, the addition of these two things is 0. So at the end, I must get this value as 0. If you won't get this value as 0, that means that particular thing is not a root. Okay. In that case, 1 is not a root. Got it? So here, since 1 is a root, I am getting the final value as 0. I am getting final value as 0. So how you write it down now? So 1 is a root means I must get how to write it down in the factorization form. It is d minus 1. Correct? D minus 1. Because when I take d minus 1 equal to 0, I'll get that value as 1. Yes. Now, how to write it down this entire expression? So this can be written as, so this is your constant. This is coefficient of d, coefficient of d square, coefficient of d cube, coefficient of d raised to 4, and coefficient of d to the power 5. So it will get reduced by 1. So I get this as d raised to 5 minus 5d square raised to 4 plus 7 times d raised to 3. Next number is 1 plus d square minus 8d plus 4 is equal to 0. So I have factorized this. Again I have what? I have this term. Yes. So we need to factorize this again. We have to factorize this again by using synthetic division. So I'll again use the synthetic division method. Use the synthetic division method. So we can solve this. Okay. So one of the factor is 1. So next is again apply same thing. This is already in linear. We have to find it out for this. So I just start taking the coefficients from highest power to 0, right? That is up to constant. So here the coefficient is 1. Again, I just make it. So here it is 1. The coefficient of d raised to 4 is -5. Coefficient of d cube is 7. Coefficient of d square is 1. This is -8. And finally we have 4. Again, I'll start with 1. Okay, if 1 is not giving me the answer, then go for -1. If -1 is also not giving the final answer as 0, then you go for 2, -2, 3, -3, and so on. So what I'll do is I just check again 1 whether 1 is a factor or not. So you have to take down this number as it is. 1 into 1 is 1. This is -4. -4 into 1 is -4. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 ones are 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 ones are 4. I'll get this as -4. -4 ones are -4. And this addition is 0. So again you can see that 1 is a factor. Correct. 1 is a factor. Now I can continue here. Okay, I can continue here without breaking, because here you cannot get this in the quadratic form. Quadratic means degree 2. Yes. So this is d raised to 4 now. And all the terms are present. You can see all the coefficients are non-zero. So all the terms are present. So I'll continue here only since I have a space. Okay. So I just try to find it out again a factor for this. So you can continue like this. Okay. In the same row and take just one more additional number. I just take down this 1 as it is. Again, I check whether 1 is a factor or not. If 1 is not there, we'll go for -1. So 1 into 1 is 1. -4 plus 1 is -3. -3 into 1 is -3. This becomes 0. 0 into 1 is 0. This is 4. 4 ones are 4. And again, see, I'm getting the answer as 0. Okay. So that means how many times we are getting 1 as a factor? Earlier it was 1, 2, 3. 3 it is already over. Now I have to find it out for this. See, this is constant coefficient of d square and d cube. Still there is a chance of getting one more thing. Okay, one more iteration. So I just write it down this. So this can be written as d minus 1 bracket cube up till now, because we are taking 1 root thrice. Okay. And what is remaining here? This is constant coefficient of d square and d cube. So I just write it down this. So d cube minus 3d square. There's no term containing this d because the coefficient is 0 and I have plus 4 is equal to 0. So my term is get reduced to this one. Okay, term gets reduced to this one. Now again I try to find it out the another one factor. Okay, for that cubic term. Okay, for the cubic one. Because again for cubic we don't have a formula, direct formula for calculating the roots. So we'll just take it down again in synthetic division. Since I don't have that space, so I have just rub that. Otherwise you can continue there only. Okay, till you get quadratic. So here it is, this value is 1. Then this is -3, 0, and I have +4. Now we start checking again 1, whether 1 is a factor. You have to take down this 1 as it is down. 1 into 1 is 1. -2 here. That is -2, -2. So I am getting the answer as what? 2, which is non-zero. That means 1 is not a factor. Okay, 1 is not a factor. So I go for -1. Correct? I'll check it for -1 now. So -1 into 1 is -1. We'll get -4. -4 into -1 is +4. So addition is +4. This into this, it is -4. That is 0. See, -1 is a factor. Correct? -1 is a factor. This -1 is a root. So it is what? D plus 1. And here you can see that this is constant coefficient of d and d square. So we know how to solve this further for quadratic. So we'll write it down this as, so this was the earlier part, d minus 1 cube. So I'll just write it down, d minus 1 cube. We have plus minus 1 as a root. When you get minus 1 as a root, when the factor is d plus 1, correct? And here I just rewrite this, so it is d square minus 4d plus 4 is equal to 0, correct? Okay. And now, what are the roots? For this, see how to calculate the roots. You cannot take this one as 2 times because 4 ones are 4. Again, I'll get this as either 3 or plus 5. So this will not satisfy. So I have to use here what? The formula for getting this d square minus 4d plus 4. It is not a complete square. Okay, is equal to 0 minus b, so that is 4 plus minus under root b square, that is 4 4s are 16 minus 4ac. Is it giving? Yes, it is giving. Okay. So it is a square of d minus 2. Yes. So if you can't find it out this way, you have another option that you can find it out by this way. So what we can do is we can write it down this as d minus 1 cube into d plus 1 into d minus 2 bracket square is equal to 0. So we have factorized this. So what are the roots? So we have the roots as how many times this 1 will repeat, because it is d minus 1 cube. So 1 is repeated thrice. So write it down 1 1 1. How many times d plus 1 equal to 0 is there? Only 1. So we have the root as minus 1. And next is how many times 2 is repeated? Twice. Correct? So in all, see, there are 6 roots. 6 roots. Now, after getting these roots, the last thing is we have to write it down the solution. So you can see that all of them are real. Real. They are repeated, and some of them are distinct, correct, and not repeated also. So you can see that how you write it down the solution. So you have to take the combination. So the solution is 1 is repeated how many times? Thrice. So we'll have a polynomial of degree 3 minus 1, that is 2. We just write it down c1 plus c2x plus c3 x square. Which root is repeated? 1 is repeated, so it is e raised to x. Correct? 1 is repeated thrice. So we'll get this. Now, minus 1, whether it is repeated? No, but it will go with the next index. So, C4 e raised to minus x plus, correct? And now what is remaining? 2, 2. So, 2 is repeated twice. Again, we'll have a polynomial of degree 1 for this. So, this is next index is C5, C6x e raised to 2x. And this is your answer. This is your answer. So you can see here that the arbitrary constants are 6, C6, and the original problem was, it was the differential equation of order 6. So we have 6 constants here. So it's a general solution, correct? Now we take the next question. Next question is d cube plus d square minus 2d plus 12 operating on y equal to 0. This is the question. So again, it is cubic polynomial, and we don't have the, like in earlier, d minus 1 cube. or d plus 1 cube. It is not fitting in that. So what we have to do is we have to apply synthetic division again. Okay. So I take coefficients d cube, then d square, then d and 12. So start with 1. We take down this 1 as it is. 1 into 1 is 1. This is 2. 2 ones are 2. That is 0. 0, 0. I'll get the answer as 12, which is not there. That means 1 is not a root. 1 is not a root. Then I'll go for minus 1. Whether minus 1 is a root. See, everything you can do it in rough. Okay. Or for cubic, you can use the calculators also. In cubic, they have given all the roots are given. Okay. So minus 1, this is 0, 0 into minus 1. Sorry, this is 0, and we get minus 2, and this is also 2. So again, it is non-zero. So again, minus 1 is also not a root. Now we'll go ahead, we check it for 2 plus 2. Whether 2 is a root, so 2 ones are 2, this is 3, 3 twos are 6, this is 4, 4 twos are 8. Okay, so this is 20, which is non-zero again. So 2 is also not a root. Then we'll go for minus 2, minus 2, which are minus 2, and get here minus 1. This is plus 2, we'll get this as 0, correct? 0 into this, that is 0. So again it is non-zero. So minus 2 is also not a root. Now we go ahead. Okay, we'll calculate it for 3. 3 ones are 3. This is 4. 4 threes are 12. I have this as 10. 10 threes are 30. So again it is very big. Now I'll go for minus 3. So this is minus 3. What I'll get, this is minus 2. 2 threes are 6. So we get this as 4. 4 threes are minus 12. Finally we have got it. Okay. So that means minus 3 is a root. Minus 3 is a root. So we can write it down this as d plus 3 into, now I can write it in quadratic form, d square minus 2d plus 4 is equal to 0. So whether it is a complete square of any term for the factorization, I think no. So what I have to do is I have to use again b square minus 4ac for this term. So how you solve this? Minus b, that is plus 2 plus or minus under root b square 4 minus 4ac, that is minus 16 divided by 2a. Okay, so what is this thing? So this is 2 plus minus, we'll have this, that is 12 divided by 2. So 12 can be written as 4 threes are. You can take out 2 outside and root 3i. So we get, if when I divide it by 2, we get 1 plus or minus root 3i. Correct? That will be the root. And another root is what? Minus 3. So I just write it down for this. Okay. So the roots are directly here. Okay. Roots are minus 3. And here we get 1 plus minus I root 3. Correct? So it's a combination of both. One is real and another one is complex. So we have to use both the cases together. So the solution is y is equal to c1 times the first is the real, so it is e raised to minus 3x plus. Now since it is complex, what is alpha? Alpha is 1. What is a beta? Beta is root 3. So it is e raised to alpha x, so that is 1 times x inside the bracket c1 times cos of root 3x, correct, plus c2 times sine of root 3x, and this ends, correct, with this sum. So the main part is getting the correct roots. If the roots are wrong, this answer is wrong. Yes, so you lose your marks for this.
Ma'am, why using C1 again, ma'am? Won't it be C2 and C3?
Yes, yes, thank you. This by mistake I'm taking. No, thank you.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hmm. Now we'll go ahead, we take one more example and we'll stop. Hmm. So the example is d raised to 4 plus m raised to 4 operating on y equal to 0. D raised to 4 plus m raised to 4 operating on y is equal to 0. Now you can see here, if I just take it as a square plus b square, I need to adjust the middle term, correct? What is the middle term here? 2d square m square. Yes, 2d square m square. So adjust that term. So what we do is, to solve this, we have to use different trick. So I just take it as, first of all I write it down like this. Is equal to 0. This is my auxiliary equation. While finding the roots, we'll get this. Now I just write it down d square square, correct? Plus m square square. What is the middle term? 2ab. Yes, a square plus b square plus 2ab. So I require that term as 2 times d square m square to be added and to be subtracted. Correct. We'll add it and subtract the middle term, adjustment. Now we'll take this together and we'll keep it as it is, okay? Because this is plus, so we'll take it together and now we can write it down this as, this is d square plus m square bracket square. And what about this term? I can write this also in terms of square, so it is root 2 d m bracket square equal to 0. Now we have seen the formula x square minus y square. Here this entire term is your x and this entire term is your y. So it is x square minus y square. How you write? X plus y into x minus y. So this can be written as d square plus m square plus root 2 dm x plus y, and another factorization will be x minus y. So x is d square plus m square minus root 2 dm is equal to 0. Okay. Now you can see that these are the two quadratic equations. How you can solve these two quadratic equations further? By using the formula minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So we'll solve it by using that. Okay. See, in this case what we have adjusted the middle term. That is the only trick here, and you have to use the formula x square minus y square expansion formula. How we expand it? So this is x plus y into x minus y, and we are using this so that I am getting nice quadratic equations. Quadratic equations. Now we'll solve this quadratic equations further. So the first equation, we'll take it down. So it is d square plus, I just write here the middle term first, root 2 m times b, okay, and plus m square is equal to 0. This is my first term. D square plus some coefficient times d plus constant is equal to 0. So what is the root? So for this the root is minus of b plus minus under root b square. B square is 2m square minus 4ac. So 4m square divided by 2a. Correct? 2a. So what will get this as? This is the 2m square minus 4m square is minus 2m square. So when I take it outside, it is under root 2i, 2mi, correct? So we'll get this as minus root 2m plus minus root 2m times I divided by 2, correct? Divided by 2. So that 2 also can be written as root 2 square. So that root 2 will get cancelled and we'll get this roots as roots for the first part as minus m plus minus I times n divided by root 2. Correct? This is for the first one. Now what about the second one? What will happen? So you can see here, if you observe the second one, the only thing is there is middle term is negative. Correct? Middle term is negative for that. So you will get this as plus. Minus of minus is plus. The rest all the part is going to be same. So we just write it down. So the roots of this d square minus root 2 dn plus m square is equal to 0 are m plus or minus I m divided by root 2. This is the only difference, that this sign becomes positive. It's the only thing. So now you can see that this both the roots are written in terms of complex number. So we have to find it out the solution, and you can see that both of them are distinct also. Here the real part is minus m by root 2, whereas the real part is m by root 2. So they are not repeated. Correct? They are not repeated. So we are going to apply case number 3. Case number 3 here. So by using that, the solution y can be written as, for the first one, what is your alpha? Alpha is minus m by root 2. Correct? Minus m by root 2. So just write it below. So it is e raised to minus m by root 2 times x. Correct? Here it is what? C1 times what is beta? M by root 2. M by root 2 for this. So C1 times cos of m by root 2 times x plus C2 times sine of m by root 2 times x. Correct? Plus. Now the another this one root. So here the only thing is this sign is plus. That's it. Correct? So e raised to m by root 2 times x. I'll take the next index here, C4 times cos of m by root 2 times x plus C5 sine of, C3 and C4, okay, sine of m by root 2 times x. So this will give you the solution. This will give you the solution for this problem. Correct? So if I have d square plus m, d raised to 4 plus m raised to 4. Suppose I have d raised to 4 plus 16. 16 is what? 2 raised to 4. Correct? 2 raised to 4. So in that case, you have to do the calculation in this way only. It won't be every time m. In place of m, it can be any number, like 3 raised to 4, 5 raised to 4, correct? So what is the trick in this case? You have to write it down first of all in complete form. Add the middle term and subtract the middle term, and then later on you have to use the expansion. X square minus y square, you just write it down as x plus y and x minus y, so that you will get the nice quadratic equations. Once you get that, you will get definitely the solution as a complex number only. Okay, complex number only. Now if I just make a small change in the same problem, just by instead of taking that d raised to 4 plus m raised to 4, okay, if I just make it as another example, d raised to 4 minus m raised to 4. See what will happen? So here d raised to 4 minus m raised to 4 means it is what? It is d square minus d square square minus m square square. So it is of the type x square minus y square. So I can write it down this as d square minus m square into d square plus m square. Correct? Equal to 0. And now what is d square minus m square? Further you expand this. It is x plus y into x minus y. So you get this as d plus m into d minus m. Correct? And what about this? This is d plus I times n and d minus I times n equal to 0. So here in this case, you don't require any adjustment because this middle sign is minus. So what are the roots in this case? The roots are minus m plus minus I n. So what's the solution? The solution in this case can be written as y is equal to c1 times e raised to minus mx plus C2 times e raised to plus mx plus, now here alpha is 0, correct? 0 plus or minus I. So we have e raised to 0x. So I am not writing that. Now the next index is C3. So we just write C3 cos mx and C4 sin mx. Correct? This will give you the answer. This will give you the answer. Okay. So this way you can find it out, the solution. Okay.